Butch, from your end, I mean, you know, obviously not knowing exactly how, like, your position, but, you know, King County manages this land. You know, it had to come from Glenn or this group to build this, to propose this idea. From King County side, I mean, what does it mean to you guys?
Well, we had been hearing, especially from our field staff years ago, you know, 2000 to 2005, there was just this undercurrent of, we've got to address the mountain bikers. They're not allowed on most of the lands out there, and there's illegitimate trails and illegal building. We've got to create a place that they can go and ride. So around 2005, we came here and said this is probably about as good as we're going to get as far as finding a good location that's close to Seattle. It's, you know, across the street really from the city of Sammamish, Klahani, all these developments that are going in. So there's a huge youth population, and it just seemed to fit. The topography was great, really good draining soils, and so we thought this is kind of the sweet spot for it. Evergreen cut their teeth with Colonnade, and then after that came here. And it was amazing as soon as it happened. You know, we knew, you know, I've mountain biked for years, but I'm not like a big mountain biker, so I wasn't, you know, I didn't have my ear to the ground as far as what the mountain biking community was saying, so I'd get it directly from Evergreen, and they're like, yeah, it's going to be really popular, but I think you guys were even amazed. Like, wow, what just happened?
25 parking spaces, that should cover it.
Well, we knew that wasn't going to work, and we've been working on that solution ever since we started this project, but the two women that I met out here, who were they were in their late 60s, right, and just took up mountain biking. That's not who I had in mind. It's great, and then whole families, and you know, it's just there's clearly this great desire to want to be outside together. You know, you talk about it being an individual sport. It is, but it's also you do it with your friends. And you know, when we had the Evergreen Festival here a couple of weeks ago, I saw a bunch of guys up there, and they're like, yeah, we're here 3 or 4 days a week. We all come after school, and we just ride. You know, it's like, how great is that? So,
what was the count from that weekend? 1,100? Is that what I heard?
1,200.
1,200 people on a Saturday?
Yeah. And we didn't actually have a counter on the Grand Ridge entrance, so.
Butch, a follow-up question. Where does the dollars come from this? I mean, obviously, none of this is cheap, I know, because I'm building one. You know, and luckily I don't have to go to the taxpayers to get it, but...
Well, it's the model that we've adopted, and we did it around 2002 when we had our asses handed to us, essentially. We took all our, you know, our money was gone. We lost 50% of our staffing. Our whole rec section was cut, and so we said, you know, how are we going to survive? And we just created this partnership model where, you know what, we're going to provide seed money, and if it's something that needs to happen, if it's something that the community wants, they're going to let us know, and they're going to step up and help us. So just about everything we do has this element from the other side saying, hey, we really want this, and we want it so much that we're going to step in and partner with you. So we're building a boathouse that way at, you know, Marymore Park. We gave them $500,000, and the Sammamish Rowing Association has put in $3 million, and they're doing it, and they program everything. So it's the same thing here. We provided about $350,000, and Evergreen has provided up to 20,000 hours through the massive volunteers. I don't know what the count is on the number of thousands of volunteers. It's incredible. You know, people are living out here. It was really amazing, and then all the funds and the donations. So that's the model, and it's the only way we're able to survive with anything that we do. Then on the flip side is the model like at Valmont in Boulder. You know, I talked to them, and they said they had about 1 to 3% volunteer time to build that park, and all the rest was public funds. And it's a great park, but it's a very different park, and it's a very different feeling. I think if you ride there, you'll see the difference. This has heart, and it has the community in it, and not to downplay what they have there, but it's not the same.
And I'll interject just from my end, and Glenn and I have had this conversation that, what we're doing at Stevens piggybacks exactly off this place. Just like when I first started talking to Whistler, scary to say, almost close to 10 years ago, they were excited to hear what we were doing, just because we're a stepping stone for them, just like city and county parks are for us. And that's where, when I come out here and I see, kids riding around here at 7 o'clock at night, I get excited, because really what that means is they're going to ride here, but, as soon as we open up there and we get rolling at Stevens, it's just the next step, right? And it's easy for people to come up and ride with us, come rip a few days. They're going to go to Whistler. I'm going to Whistler tomorrow. I have my own bike park, and I'm still going up there for 4 days. I've already been there once this year, and I have 2 more trips planned this year already. So it's not like, that's not going to quit going there, but it's like every one of those steps feeds to the next. And that's where I think none of us can get so engulfed in our own little zones to not see what's going to happen or what is feeding us. What's feeding you guys, what's feeding us, what's feeding Whistler. It's just something I think we all have to consider as we kind of move along. So